Hello, welcome to Life's a Bitch and So's Your Mom. I'm your mom. And yes, life is a bitch. The world's full of problems and challenges. Not that this is news to you. If you're watching me, then you've probably seen a dozen or even 100 other YouTube channels pointing out just how hard life is in today's world. And, not to put too fine a point on it, just how stupid some people can be. And to an extent, that's why I'm here. You see, I love channels like Logicked and Undoomed and The Armored Skeptic and This Week in Stupid and Teal Deer and Thunderfoot. I love it when people see the problems of the world, usually born of stupidity and ignorance, and argue against them using logic and reason and facts. But for every Sargon of Akkad, there's a dozen Anita Sarkeesians and Lacey Greens and Kent Hovens, people who rant and rage and disregard rational thought in preference of emotional rhetoric, twisting facts, and even outright lying to promote their personal agendas. And honestly, when you're deluged with that type of visual and auditory onslaught coming from so many sources and all screaming that I'm right, they're wrong, well then what are you to believe? And what I started to believe was extremely bad word. You kids today have got it rough. Yeah, now in a million ways, you've got it easier than any generation before you. But in a million other ways, it's so much tougher. And all these people pointing out just how much more difficult it is, or worse, making it harder by foregoing reason in preference of fear and hate-mongering, it isn't doing diddly to help you. So I asked myself, what can I do? How can I help you? Because, in a nutshell, that's what life is about. Not about the bitching and the moaning, not about harping about the injustices, real and imagined, and the stupidity, but trying to figure out just how you can make one life better. That's what I hope to do. To give you a little guidance, a little support, a little backup, maybe even some real-world skills, and let you know that you're not alone. Now, I make no guarantees that this is going to be the cure-all for all that ails you. I can't do that. No one can. Well, except maybe you. Yes, you. You see, running your own life is no one's responsibility but your own, and it's a challenge. But oh, my dears, that challenge and the rewards can be glorious. Now, I've worked hard. I've been everything from a mom to a waitress to a clerk at a bakery to a bookkeeper to a phlebotomist to an office manager at a major U.S. firm to the technical advisor for a major medical company, traveling around the U.S., assisting in patient procedures in dozens of hospitals. I've had my moments of absolute glory, and I've watched while patients I've come to know and love died, and there was nothing I or anyone else could do to save them. I've trekked through New Zealand, and by the way, you do want to put this on your list. I've bicycled from Minneapolis to Chicago. I've climbed glaciers in Switzerland, and I've played in the oceans around Australia. I've cosplayed at anime cons, geeked out with the Trekkies at Comic Cons. I've done the homemaker thing, the mom thing, the wife thing. I've been a state champion in martial arts. I've written fanfics, and dang, it's been fun. Not easy. Never easy. But nothing worth having is really ever easy. But it's been fun. And I want that for you. The sheer fun of a life where you find challenges and conquer them, where you set goals and you reach them, where you aspire to be more than you are. You know, be all that you can be. Yeah, I know, it's a cliche. But just because it's a cliche doesn't mean that it's wrong. And let's be honest, if you don't live your life now, if you don't try to make this life everything it can be, then when? It's not as though we're guaranteed we get a second chance. And no matter what your beliefs, you're never going to get this life again. And the thing is, as a human being, you were given this incredible brain and the expectation that you would use it to the best of your abilities. Anything less is insulting to yourself and to everyone else who got a brain. Now, of course, what you choose to use it for is your choice. Maybe you'll choose to get an education or training doing something that you love that leads to a career doing something that you love. Maybe you'll choose to take a crap job that you hate, but it lets you do what you really want, like raising a family or fostering dogs or studying Shakespeare or playing Warhammer 40K. Of course, if your choice is to get a bachelor's degree in graphic arts, along with 1,000 other kids, and you wonder why your life includes the phrase, "Do you want tots with your Sonic burger?" Well, maybe that wasn't the best choice you've ever made. And if your life choice is to camp in front of the computer, playing Titanfall and Call of Duty and Five Nights at Freddy's, trolling on 4chan, or raging against the patriarchy for all the problems in your life, well, you definitely need to work on those decision-making skills and on getting a grip. But whatever you decide, it is, after all, your life, yours and no one else's. It's your life to design, to direct, to shape, and to enjoy. But if you make the choice to sit back and do nothing, then don't complain when nothing is all you get. You dig your own holes in life. You want them filled in? Start shoveling. Now, of course, even with the best of decisions, there will be times, and probably more than a few, when even with the hardest of work and the best of intentions, it just falls apart. When you lose your job, you can't get another one. And you wind up moving back in with mom and dad. When your girlfriend or boyfriend or your significant other leaves you and no one else compares. When you fail a class, when you get demoted, when life just takes a dump on you. Well, poop happens. But it happens to everyone. And here's the hard part to digest. It usually happens to everyone in about the same measure. You see, life doesn't pick on you. It's just life. And to be completely honest, life doesn't care about you. It doesn't even know you exist. And it certainly isn't picking you out for its special attention. Life just doesn't think you're that important. Life, however, is quite wrong. You are important. To you. And to me. And I know. We barely know each other, and yet here I am telling you that you're important to me. It's almost as though it's closing time at the bar and no one's hooked up with us yet. But you are important. Life, however, doesn't care what you think, what I think, what anyone or anything thinks. Life just is. Whatever you want from your life is your responsibility, and it's entirely up to you. Life isn't going to hand anything to you, and no one else's either. And for the record, let's get the notion that you're entitled to anything simply for being alive off the table. You're not. No one owes you anything. If you want something, you're going to have to earn it. But we'll get into that issue on another day. My point is that whatever you want from life, you're going to have to decide what it is, how to get it, and then put in the work to make it happen, or not. Once in a while, there will be moments of glorious luck, and others where nothing goes right. And sometimes, just sometimes, you're going to have to sit back, take a cold, hard look at yourself and your choices, and realize that one, or even more of those choices, wasn't a good one. And you might also realize that the choices that are great for you today may not be so good tomorrow. But you'll know from your own experience what does and doesn't work for you. And, in theory at least, you'll make better choices. And that's what you're here for. No, not here on this channel watching this video, but here, on this planet, in this time, to use that marvelous brain you have to make your life the one you want from your own work and your own successes. And that's what I'm here for as well, to nag you, to push you, to prod you, to be the shoulder you can always cry on, to remind you of everything that you can be, and to remind you that no matter what happens, your mom loves you. Because life's a bitch, all right, but when you take charge of it, when you accept the responsibility for who you are, and what you can do, life's your bitch. I'm your mom. See you soon.